visiting with Cowboy head coach Eddie Sutton from the Varsity Butcher Shop, the home of Whisper and Richard, and we're going to break the rules today, Coach. We're going to speak with a normal voice and not whisper here in the barber shop.
You know, this also is known as the Steven Spielberg studio.
That's right. He's become quite the entrepreneur with the video. But we want to talk from this landmark about the landmark just down the street. That's Gallagher-Iba Arena. Two great names on that arena, Gallagher and Iba. You're very close to Mr. Iba, played for him, fortunate enough to come back here, and he was able to welcome back one of his favorite sons. But I just wonder what you think that Mr. Iba would be saying right now if he was with us about this new athletic center and the expansion of Gallagher-Iba.
Well, I think he'd be thrilled and just as excited as Terry Don and myself and all the other OSU fans. I think that he would be very pleased with what he sees, and I think he would be excited if he were still coaching, the opportunity to coach the Cowboys in this wonderful facility.
Well, it had to make you feel very good that Mr. Iba was so pleased. I can still see the look on his face at the press conference when you came back to Stillwater to coach at your alma mater. But I know he was very proud. That was a proud day for you, but it's really paid off for OSU and for OSU fans because we've had great basketball over the last decade. But Coach, let's just admit it, if you weren't here in Stillwater, we wouldn't have the need for expanding Gallagher-Iba Arena, so I think we ought to just be grateful that we have you.
That's nice of you to say that. It has been a real honeymoon for me because, you know, when I played here at OSU, and of course when I came here, it was Oklahoma A&M, and they changed it in my junior year, but the name from Oklahoma A&M to Oklahoma State University. But, you know, those were glory years. We had great success, and they had great success before I ever got here. And then from, I guess, the 60s until I got here, there were a few good seasons, but there were some seasons that weren't so good. So I owe so much to OSU that in coming back here, it's been a real thrill, and it doesn't seem possible that it's been 10 years. I guess when you're having good times, time flies quickly. But I'm happy that I could give something back to this great school, and I think it was so kind of them to give me a scholarship, or I would never have been able to get to college.
Coach, what will this project mean for your program, the OSU basketball program?
Well, I think it means a great deal to basketball, but I think it probably means just as much to our overall athletic program. There were some needs that we didn't have, and I think young men and women, when they're recruited, they want to go where there's first-class facilities, and I think that's so important. And we were certainly lagging way behind in facilities when you compare OSU with other schools in the Big 12. But the new academic center was something we needed. I think having all the coaches' offices together, that's important. The wrestlers who have such a great tradition, they didn't even have a legitimate sized room to practice in. And of course, one thing that'll help us in basketball is the auxiliary gym, but there's just a lot of things, the new weight room, the new training room. I think it'll be a real showcase as far as facilities are concerned. When people around the country see this facility, they're going to say, golly, this is one of the great facilities in college.
Coach, one of the things that I really love about this project is the fact that you're going to keep the history and tradition of a historic Gallagher-Iba Arena, build upon that tradition, yet keep it right there, and I think our fans are happy about that.
Well, I think the fans are happy. I know that there were people here at the university that felt like maybe we should go out and build a new one out on some of the property owned by the university somewhere out west. And Terry Don and I felt strongly that we needed to keep it here because our students can walk through the games. Plus the fact that with the new project that we're about to undertake with the football stadium, we're going to have a showcase as far as facilities are concerned. But the floor is just an amazing thing. It's just as good as it was when I played here in the 50s. And I asked the person one time when they were redoing the floor, I said, how much longer will that floor last? And this is 3 or 4 years ago, and he said, Coach, you'll be long gone and in the ground when this floor will still be good. And fortunately, Manhattan certainly took great care in making sure if we possibly could save the floor that we would. And and we're going to be able to save it. And I think it does please everybody.
Yeah, a lot of people have their heartstrings attached to that gymnasium floor, and they're very happy that Manhattan was able to disperse the weight so that you could save it. But the good news is you still get that home court advantage. Tell us a little bit about the dead spots.
Well, you know, people talk about dead spots, but, you know, there are some floors, especially portable floors, that really do have dead spots, and the ball might not bounce halfway up to your waist and as you bounce the ball on the floor. I really don't think anyone could go out there and bounce a basketball and find those dead spots. There's just not that many. And of course, the other day when we were testing it out, we had Sean and myself were out there bouncing the basketballs around, and I just I'm amazed that there aren't really. They say they're dead spots, but they're not dead spots that's going to interfere with the game of basketball. And you know, when we talk to people that have played here, they say it's one of the great floors that they've ever played on, and certainly our players think that it's the best, and we never have any leg problems. A lot of times you have shin splints and things like that, but we've never had any problems in the 10 years I've been here.
Manhattan site manager says that he's got them all diagrammed out where the dead spots are. He's a Texas A&M graduate, so I think his plans are to send that diagram down to Texas A&M.
Yeah, there's Steve, the person you're talking about, has been really the guy that has been able to oversee the project, but he is an Aggie, and sometimes Aggies, you know, there are a lot of Aggie jokes about Texas A&M. When I was coaching the Razorbacks, that was always one of the things that I know our people are always talking about, but I'm happy Steve did such a great job on the facility.
Coach Sutton, one of the things you've got to really be excited about is the fact that you're going to take one of the rowdiest arenas in the country and make it even rowdier. 13,611 fans. You have to be excited about that home court advantage.
I've been very fortunate coaching at 3 great places where the home team had a tremendous advantage. When I was at Arkansas, we lost 3 games that first year. In the next decade, 10 years, we only lost 5 more home games, 8 home games in 11 years. And of course, at Kentucky, you had 24,000 people, and it was very intimidating to the opponent. But to me, if I were a visiting coach and you gave me the 3 places, I would rate Gallagher-Iba the toughest place to go in and win. And the fans have certainly played the part of the 6th man the years that I've been here. That roof or the ceiling really was something that didn't allow the sound to escape, and even though you're not going to have that now, I think the additional fans certainly should be able to make up for that, and I think it will be a very intimidating place for the opposing team.
Well, Coach, thank you very much. I know you're excited about Gallagher-Iba Arena's expansion and the completion date, but the basketball season upcoming.
Well, I think everybody that loves Oklahoma State's thrilled about what has taken place, and we certainly have a great deal of thanks to Terry Dawn and Dr. Halligan and the people that made it happen.